Good morning, people.
Sorry.
What?
I just literally timed it perfectly that I hit enter on a tweet as soon as the music started to be able to go, and we're here.
And we're here.
That's timing.
And
That
we are
is
here.
timing, my friend.
Hey, what's wrong with this picture? Where's the green hat?
It's right here. I left it in frame just so people wouldn't be concerned. Rick's Tilly hat is still alive and well, but it's the last show of the year according to the schedule from what you told me. So I figured last name of Claus.
On our holiday edition, yes.
A Christmas hat, and this is a holiday edition. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, all the different festivals that are going on right now. I hope that you're having a good one so far, and you're getting ready for what I used to think of as the calmest and best time of year working as an IT professional in the operation space. The days between Christmas and New Year's, when you got all the work done for the year because no one was around.
No one is around. That's right. That's normally when somebody decides, though, oh, let's use the downtime for a maintenance window.
I don't know. I never allowed those back in the day.
Well,
I was just getting stuff done.
We could definitely tell that it's Christmas time or it's holiday time at Microsoft because the list of updates this week was pretty thin.
Mm-hmm.
I guess engineering is all gone on vacation.
Well, they're saving all the news for the new year, I guess, or something like that. But
possibly.
Yeah, it's definitely a good time. Hello to the folks in the room that are watching live. You know, I see Andrew McCallum's hanging out there. Jared apparently is still rolling out of bed at something like that. Paul Jensen was one of the first folks to say hello.
Yep.
Good to see. And of course, Andrew is suggesting that maybe I should have like an automation script. I'm assuming StreamYard has some kind of capability to like auto tweet something or something like that.
I've not seen that yet, but I haven't even looked.
Oh, I forgot something. Look at this. My fresh, because it's like 7 a.m. here for me, right? It's early on the West Coast. It's like midday for you. Your cup of coffee. I even went so far as to get the holiday treat that goes on top of the coffee cup, just like that.
The gingerbread man.
Gingerbread man. Nothing better than being able to.
Well, at least I know that this hat you're wearing right now is not photoshopped on.
That is true. You did a good job with the picture this week, my friend.
I was procrastinating yesterday afternoon in between meetings, so I figured, let's go nuts on Photoshop.
I thought you were late on some other deliverables. Interesting. And I do have to compliment you on your sweater. These have been making the rounds of the internet, so I don't know how you managed to snag one because they were available for limited time only. But the Minesweeper sweater.
The Minesweeper sweater. Yeah, did you notice? 1990 to 2021.
Nice, even better. You know what I like best about that shirt, though?
What?
The fact that Pierre Roman now has a minimize, maximize, and close application button in his top left shoulder.
Well, do you want me to close it now?
Minimize. Always good. Always
minimize. See, not working. I'm gonna have to reboot myself.
Yeah, that can help sometimes for sure. Good stuff.
No,
I haven't looked at the details of the actual Minesweep playing field to see how the person's doing, but
I haven't gone through it either. I have to admit, I am happily surprised that it's actually soft and comfortable.
Oh, nice.
Sometimes you get those ugly Christmas sweaters, and they're like it's almost like they're made out of steel wool on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
But no, this one is actually nice and comfy.
Quite nice.
And the proceeds go to a good cause.
Nice. Very cool.
For Girls Who Code.
Yep.
They sold out actually quite quickly this year, if I remember.
Glad you got one, my friend.
So am I. We're gonna have the format's gonna be a little different today because there's a couple of things that we want to do. But for now, let's get right into the news. And Rick, you are up first.
I was about to say, as you mentioned, the news is pretty light this week. I mean, like I saw some stuff even just as we were getting online here, talking about like an updated search experience for Teams and stuff like that. So that's like late breaking news that just came out. But One of our main sources that we use for news is an update service that Microsoft Azure folks use to be able to publish when there's something new. I remember this from when I was a PM in the Azure team. There literally was like this small form you had to go fill out to create the blurb and then submit it, and then it would go into the RSS feed of the updates services, and then they would render that and show it inside the portal, stuff like that. So lots of folks would go off and write those.
Yeah, and it was so light this week that I had to go into the regular products team's blogs to find other stories.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Now this one is about simply something that's the bread and butter of life and operations world, which is restore points or snapshots equivalent. And so you and I were chatting about this before we got started, but the whole concept of taking a snapshot of a disk existed before, but it was only available during command line capabilities and also through PowerShell against your VMs when you're going off and managing your VMs. The disaster recovery and business continuity group, business continuity disaster recovery group, they basically went off and they created another level of automation and simplicity for this. It's now called VM Restore Points in preview that allows you to go through and to simply enable and create a machine consistent backup with, not backup, a machine consistent snapshot. Don't rely on this as a backup. This is a snapshot. This is a machine consistent snapshot that includes all the disks if you want them to be included, which they are by default, by creating basically like a service container that contains all the snapshots for that particular subscription that you're working with. And then on a per machine, per VM basis that you initiate this on, will have your own area for that one VM, and then all the disks associated with it at the same time. They're application consistent. Now, it's important to note that this is done for the entire disk and all data disks associated with that VM, but it's also a point in time, and it's also a full one the very first time you do it. After that, it becomes incrementals, and therefore you have to have incrementals that happen after it. They're not the differentials, which grow in size. The incrementals should basically be kind of, if you're at a regular interval, based on how much change you got going on your VM, consistently around the same kind of size. And when you run these things, they're by default attempted to be stored in zone redundant storage automatically.
Yep.
If there is no zone redundant storage capable, it then stores it on locally redundant, locally redundant storage. So basically in 3 different areas and 3 different storage clusters inside of the VM. I'm forgetting my terms, man. It's been a while.
That's okay. The one thing I like about this is that in the past, because I've written on itopstalks.com, shameless plug, I wrote about creating restore points or snapshots for my VMs when I'm doing demos.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm using like PowerShell or CLI to get those done, but also you had to do every disks separately.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't something that would do the entire VM. And this, from what I understand, also stores the VM configuration, not only the disk, but the VM configuration. So if something was to it's an add-on to your business disaster recovery plan.
So it's a good thing to note that there is, I was just double checking the article for some consistencies and restrictions. The first restriction is ultra disks, ephemeral operating system disks, and shared disks are not supported in this particular snapshot. So obviously they have to be part of the managed disk environment.
Yep.
You've got a limit of 200 VM restore points that can be created for a particular VM. That's an awful lot of restore points. And then also concurrent creation of a restore point is not supported. So basically you create one and then you wait for it to finish to go for the next one. The good things to know about. The good thing is documentation is updated. The article came out on the 6th earlier this week. Documentation was simultaneously updated as well. And you can obviously call these with an API too. So if you needed to for your own application you're working with, you can make an API call to be able to kick this kind of stuff up. Very, very good.
The nice thing with that is, and we were talking about this earlier this week when we did our Azure Update management Learn Live, is you could programmatically.
Your emphasis was on the wrong syllable. Have another coffee, buddy. There you go.
There we go.
Programmatically
create a script so that before you run your update, for example, you could snapshot a whole machine. run your update. Something goes wrong, you restore the snapshot if it doesn't roll back properly. So there's all kinds of different possibilities here for IT pros and for operations folks in a hybrid world.
You got it. So not terribly earth-shattering, something that's now available inside the cloud environment, makes your job a little bit easier from the old way of doing stuff. You don't have to wait for a big, long, massive restore and massive backup to be able to do stuff. And some, easy key features of this is, as we mentioned in the chat, thanks a lot, Jared and others, and I think Paul brought this up as well, is simply a matter of, hey, before you go off and if you're doing demos, nice and simple, easy, but then also before, as you mentioned, you do an update to the machine, you could also snap it as well. So very cool.
Or any maintenance to a machine, really.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
very, very true.
And I do use snapshots for my demo environments, but now I might change the way I do them.
There you go, man. What's your news today, my friend?
Oh, this is part of a.
Oh, of course.
It's something I love. Log analytics. Azure Monitor Logs, as it's formally known now, is something that I'm a really big fan of, because there are so many other services that are built on top of it, and there's so much power in it, where you get all your performance and your log data, whether they're line of business application, because you can teach it how to ingest the logs, or all of your VM logs, whether they're Windows or Linux, all of that into one location. And then the insights packages or other services like Sentinel and others go through those logs and actually can surface up real information and real status of your environment, regardless where those machines may be. They could be physical machines, they could be VMs on-prem, they could be VMs in other clouds, or they could be VMs in Azure, or they could be also PaaS services in Azure that report their status as well. So what's cool about this announcement is, when you go to the portal and there's that little feedback button?
Yep.
Well, the log analytics team really, almost on a monthly basis, goes through this, and if there's anything that can be improved in the experience, because writing queries, it's not glamorous. Writing a custom query is something that you have to do because it's your job and it unlocks so many capabilities, but it's not the shiny thing that most people want to do, except maybe me.
As I was about to say, I don't really think of logs or log analytics as being like the sexy service of Azure. So
no, but it
is.
is.
The thing is, they're listening to feedback.
Yes, they're listening to feedback, and they've created a couple of things that makes it a lot easier or the experience a lot better within the portal. One of the things that they have done is now, when you go into the sidebar and you start creating your in the sidebar, you can do filter by subscription, resource group, machine type, machine groups, and so on. And then you go to the right side pane and you can start writing your stuff. Often what happened is, if you came back, you'd have to reset all of your filters. Number one, your sidebar filters will remain if you go back and forth within your queries. So really cool, saving lots of time. Other thing is, in your sidebar, you may have a list of pre-created tables, pre-created queries. And now there's a new way that you can configure what you do when you double click on one. So if you double click on a table, does it actually run a specific query, or does it add the table to your query editor? If you double click a query, does it actually just load it in the editor, or does it actually run it? So these are all things that are configurable now. So giving you more control over your own experience. But I find that the best thing about this is the fact that when you're looking at that feedback button,
it actually goes somewhere.
That actually goes somewhere.
Nice.
I remember somebody,
the log analytics team for that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I remember at one point we had sent some newsletters years ago, and at the bottom there was click here for some feedback, and then somebody clicked the button and gave me a rant as to what was it about. Oh yeah, we were talking about the role that back in the days when we were called evangelists. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
And
This was like the newsletter that went off across North America or something like that, right?
exactly. And the guy just like tore me a new one, telling me that there was no way we should be bringing faith into business settings because he thought evangelist that we were going to like convert him or something. And then so he didn't know it. He didn't realize that he had put his signature block in the rant that he sent back, and his phone number was there. So I called him at home. and and he went, "What? Who are you?" I said, "Oh, this is Pierre Roman. I sent the last newsletter all across North America, and you replied
just
to
thought
it."
I'd respond to you.
And I thought we should have a discussion instead of sending emails back and forth. And he went, "I never thought that these emails went anywhere." Well, that's the same with this feedback button.
Got it. Hey man, we're listening. We're here to help. That's what we do.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Cool. What's your next news?
Next news, as far as I know, that's what we're going to do. But except for, there was this little thing that was announced today. Sorry, not today, this week, that the team itself has been talking an awful lot about.
Yep.
And again, people are excited about this as well, which is awesome. Finally, we announced during Windows Server Summit that there was a new certification for Windows hybrid administrators that's made up of 2 exams. And we said, stay tuned for more details. And we gave as much details as we could.
Yep.
But now on Tuesday, I think it was, the beta became open for people to subscribe to. So the exams are a real thing now, probably a pool of like 100 to 150 different types of questions like they normally would do. And then you say, give me an exam. And then they compile a list of like 30 questions and give you the exam. Well, anyway, the beta exam for the AZ800 and the AZ801 is available for people to sign up for. And it's also available in the sense that it's more accessible for people, because the first 300 people that sign up on the public interface that you see on this blog post from Liberty Manson, she has set it up so that there are 300 spots for each exam. So technically 600 reduced cost spots. It's not free. It's 80% off, but it's reduced cost spots. And you can see the discount code AZ800. Does that say Worcester or something?
Worcester.
That's hilarious.
Worcester and
AZ800
Hillsdale.
Worcester, and then AZ801 Hillsdale. I don't know where those came from a code name.
I think they spelled I think they spelled Woolsey different wrong.
Either that or they're trying to do Worcestershire.
Worcestershire? Yeah.
Something like that. Anyway, the AZ800, AZ801 exam is at an 80% discount currently in beta form for the first 300 people that sign up.
Yep.
And in that blog post, she lists off a bunch of different resources, including the one that's probably the most helpful for doing your exam studies, which is what's known as the objective domains. And also, a good friend of ours, Oren Thomas, has gone ahead and created a study guide on our IT Ops Talk blog that should be linked in there somewhere, but you probably don't have it freshed up, so don't worry about it. That basically talks about, here are some useful articles that you can look at. Oh, yeah, the study guide's right there.
Right there.
So that one there basically will give you some local, first of all, a chat about that particular exam with Jeff Woolsey, but then also it has a link to the documents storage repository of the content inside the exam objective that's being discussed. So very helpful links that are there. And rumor has it that even our other good friend on the team, Mr. Thomas Maurer, is going to do his own spin on something similar, because he's got a tradition of doing these on his blog too.
Yep.
To have a traditional spin on that coming up in the near future. That's late breaking news. I don't even know if Oren knows about that.
Well, the question is at this point is, did Oren already write the exam?
He played a very active role in the development. So I think because of the amount of active role that he played, he's actually, I'm not going to say exempt, but maybe he's banned from being able to write it, because he would have been involved in the questions or something like that. So,
yeah. No, that's really cool. And I am planning to take those at some point.
Did you want me to put that into your performance review?
Not quite just yet.
Okay, because if you like, I can amend the performance review for the half to see if you're going to finish it.
no. That's fine.
Good?
I'll deal with it on my own time.
Okay. No problem. But, I am interested to hear from the folks watching, recorded or live. You can always do the hashtag AZOps tweets that we use from a hashtag perspective for the whole team, or this show has @AZUpdate as well if you wanted to for the individual show. But I would love to know, are you planning on taking it? Are you doing some kind of a study group to be able to help you out with it? Are you interested in some kind of study group to help out for it or whatever? But the current beta is only going to be open until January 10th. So basically it's like holiday time plus the week of recovery afterwards that it's available to be able to take in the beta form in the reduced price form. After that, it basically kind of shuts down for a while. They evaluate all the people, decide where the passing mark is, and then set you up to be able to go through. So beta exams, in case you don't know, I've been doing certification for a long time. They work regardless of, they work if you pass or not, you don't know till the end, as opposed to instantaneous. And absolutely, if you pass above the mark that they determine, by the end of it, at the end of the period, you'll get a valid exam that works like anybody else.
Yep. And one thing I'm thinking is maybe we'll talk to Oren and see if there's a possibility of opening up a couple of channels on our Discord server for AZ800 and AZ801 prep questions and support.
Yeah, good idea. See if people are interested.
Exactly. All right, we are going to move on with the show because there's at the end I want to have a little chat.
Oh, sure, man.
Community events this week are, every year, the Festive Tech calendar is still ongoing.
Yep.
I have caught a few of the sessions this week, and it was great. So
yeah, Techie Lass and Lisa at the Edge, I think, didn't ask us anything just earlier on in the week. I was hoping to catch that one, but I ended up getting dragged into a meeting that kind of kept me from being able to watch it live. That one there's available on demand. It kicked off on December the 1st with a great traditional poem that Isadora went ahead and created and delivered, which was awesome. And they've got a whole list of all the different content that comes out every single day that goes there. And likewise as well, folks are lined up to be able to go in and to make donations towards this. I believe it's also Girls Who Code as well, but they're also supporting this year round, which is awesome. So keep an eye on that. Every day, something new.
Yeah, I've been dipping in and out of the Festive Tech calendar. I did watch Sarah and Lisa on the Edge for their AMA. I actually asked a couple of questions.
Oh, cool.
I figured, why not? It was a good discussion. It was good. And the other, of course, is we do have, it's another episode of Testing and Production today at noon Eastern Time, 9 Pacific. So, Jared, hopefully you'll be out of bed and dressed by then.
Nice. Do you want to give us a hint about what the topic is this time?
Today, we are going, because we do have an actual show plan, unlike the other show that runs on Fridays.
Nice.
We're going to talk about demos, doing demos with some help from Stream Deck and some automation tools.
Very cool.
And I think, going to show my office in a video because I had a lot of questions about, how are all these monitors mounted on my desk? And so it's kind of like a video tour of my office, of my cave, if you will.
Nice.
And of course, the shenanigans.
Nice. Very, very cool. Well, I might stick around to be able to watch that one there. Might. Depends how much my coffee goes. And I do want to do a shout out. The other show, Patch and Switch, is doing our last show of the year next week on the 17th. That's going to be fun. Nice little holiday themed one that we're going to be doing. Shouting out to a whole bunch of our regular viewers and listeners and stuff like that, which is going to be cool. And also next week, well, you and I did a session this week on updates on a series we're doing for Learn Live, going through different sessions from Microsoft Learn. And the last one is happening next week. It's going to be Thomas Maurer and myself talking about backup and restore and disaster recovery options and that sort of stuff too. think the link is inside of the blog post. If not, then didn't make it into the notes, but that's the one we said we're going to talk about, is the update one that took place this week, and the one next week on disaster recovery, backup and restore stuff.
I got the link here. I got the link here.
You're slacking. You forgot to put it in the show notes.
Well, it's that
or you could blame it on replication. It didn't synchronize. There we go.
No, it's the unexpected reboots 3 minutes before showtime that kind of.
Yeah. So this is the Learn Live Hybrid Infrastructure Study Hall. So it was a great series of fun connections with folks on the team. December the 16th is the final one, 12 Pacific time, talking about Azure Backup and Restore is coming in. That's all I got, man.
Cool. So, and to complete this show, as we always do, the learning module of the week. This week, it's not a module. It's not even the learning path.
Oh?
Nope.
What is it?
It's a whole freaking collection.
Oh, nice.
Because in honor of the beta exam, there is a collection of learn modules and learning paths to help you kind of prepare for 800 and 801, AZ 800, AZ 801 exams.
That's cool.
So I figured I would put up the Level Up Windows Server Hybrid Administrator collection as our learning path or our module of the week.
Nice.
So you can deploy, manage identity infrastructure, very important in an hybrid environment. Windows Server workloads in a hybrid environment. Virtualization and containers in a hybrid environment. Basically, everything you need to know about hybrid environment. Well, everything you need to know to start with hybrid environments. You can brush up on it here. So,
are you logged in on this? No, you're not logged in, are you?
No. Why?
Okay, I was about to give you grief about the fact that you found this particular one, but I can see that you only have like 10% complete of the modules. That's only because you're not logged in on this webpage.
I'm not logged in, so I don't know. I don't know who this phantom person who's 27% completed.
It's just your leftover cookies or something like that. Good stuff, Ben. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Learn modules of the week, good stuff. But you do want to ask one thing, do you not, about people that follow and listen before we get cut off?
Yes, before we get cut off, because we got 3 minutes. This is the last show of the year. We've been doing this for now 3 seasons. We are at the point where now we're starting to revisit, because the world is slowly opening up again. reInvent had their in-person event last week. We are looking at potentially make changes to the format and the structure of the show. And we want the input of our audience, because you guys are there every week and we love you so much for supporting us like this. So go on to our discords at aka.ms/itopstalk-discord or our feedback email, which I forgot to make a banner for it, which is basically itopstalk-feedback@microsoft.com. And let us know what you think, what you want to see in this show.
I mean, is the format nice? Half an hour, a good chunk of time? Do you like the blog posts? Do you like a different style format? Do you want to have like one topic? Do you want to bring guests in? Like anything under the sun, right?
That's right. That's right. Because we are at the point now after 3 seasons. And this started out as a way to connect with you when the pandemic hit, when the age of the human malware began. And we're just
keeping it fresh.
Keeping it fresh. So between now and mid-January, we're going to be as a team, because this is a team sport, reviewing this.
Cool. Well, good. I'm glad you're doing this, and I hope that everyone that's listening takes the opportunity to give us some feedback, to let us know what they like, what they don't like, and if they have any ideas how to make it better.
That's right. So,
with Mr. that, Claus, my friend, thank you for inviting me for the last one. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and maybe you can go back to bed if you want, because I'm sure you're still wearing your pajamas.
Christmas pajamas down bottom. But yeah, not after that much coffee. I'm going to be up for a while now.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Claus. And we will see you back in January.
Have a good one.
Cheers.